Greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once more to Wafu TV. If this may be your first time watching us, this is a platform where we solve elementary mathematics and, of course, assist underprivileged learners in local communities in their education. Last time we started with simple interest. We were able to solve problems on how to find the principal, that is the main amount. Today we are going to look at how to calculate simple interest itself, that is the amount you gain after investing or keeping a certain amount of money in the bank. Stay focused as we are going to solve some examples to enable you understand how exactly you can go about solving the simple interest. We have our example on the board and it reads, find the simple interest. Here SI is simple interest on $300,000 borrowed for 4 years at 3% per annum. Per annum here simply means in 1 year or per year. So what do? In our solution, we always want to move from what we know to what we don't know. And what we don't know is the simple interest. They've given us the principal, P, that is the main amount. P is equal to $300,000. They have equally given us the time in years, and the time is 4 years. And the last thing they've given us is the rate, which is 3%. Therefore, simple interest, SI, the rule is principal times time times rate, all this divided by 100. And we can substitute. That is the principal, $300,000, times the time, which is 4 years, times the rate, which is 3%. And all this we divide by 100. What can simplify? In this case, we can just take away these 2 zeros with this, and then we multiply across. 3,000 times 4 is going to give us 12,000. And 12,000 times 3 is going to give us 36,000. We're going to put that in dollars, $36,000. This will be the interest on $300,000 borrowed for 4 years at 3%. That is how we can calculate the simple interest on an amount. Let's assume that probably you did not understand. We're going to solve the second example so that you can pick it up from there. Let's follow up with the second example. This is our second question and it reads, what gain will $100,000 yield in 2.5 years at 6%? We start with what we know. We identify the aspects that we know. So in our solution, we simply identify the principal amount, which is $100,000. We identify the time, which is 2.5 years. And this is the same as 5/2 years. We identify the rate, which is 6%. Therefore, simple interest, SI, will be equal to principal times time times rate divided by 100. And we substitute. In this case, we have 100,000 times the time, which is 5/2. We'll write our 2 down. And we multiply again here by the rate, which is 6. Now we express all of this over 100 and we multiply here by 2. So we can take away these 2 zeros with 2 zeros from here. 2 here 1 time, 2 into 6 3 times. 1,000 times 5 is going to give us 5,000, and 5,000 times 3 will give us $15,000. That is it for simple interest. As simple as you have seen. So to calculate the simple interest, simply identify the principal, the time, and the rate. Then multiply across or state your rule, which is principal times time times rate, divided by 100. You substitute, simplify when necessary, and multiply across to have your answer. This is what we had for you today as far as simple interest is concerned. In the next lesson, we'll be talking about rate. Until then, it's goodbye from us. To get more information, you can contact the numbers on the screen or you can visit our website